There's a reason why women love when men pay attention to them. It feels good to be acknowledged and appreciated. And when a man ignores her, it can feel like he's rejecting her and she may start to question herself and her worth. The psychology behind ignoring a woman is that it creates a sense of mystery and intrigue. You see, when you ignore a woman, you're essentially saying that you're not interested in her and that she's not worthy of your attention. Now, this may seem like a counterintuitive way to get a woman's attention, but ignoring her can actually be a very effective way to make her notice you. Why? Because when you ignore a woman on purpose, you're playing on her natural desire to be wanted and appreciated. All women want to feel desired, and when you ignore her, you're sending the message that you find her irresistible. This may trigger her chase instinct, and she could very well start to pursue you. And as much as you love a challenge, so do women. Of course, ignoring a woman is not without its risks. If you ignore a woman for too long, she could very well lose interest in you and move on. So, you must know how to ignore a woman the right way if you want to make it work. As we said in the previous section, playing hard to get is a dating strategy that has been used for centuries. But there is a difference between playing hard to get and being completely ignored. Just because you're playing hard to get doesn't mean you have to ignore another person. Ignoring someone is the extreme edge of playing hard to get. Why playing hard to get and ignoring a girl used to work? We all know this technique has been used for many years when trying to get someone to like you. The idea of acting as if you're not interested at all has been around for a long time. But why did it become so popular in the first place? Well, because people are stubborn and seek approval everywhere. Therefore, if you find a girl with low self-esteem and ignore her, she'll try her hardest to prove herself. That means she'll be all over you. And you won't have to do anything but ignore her in order to win her over. It just doesn't work anymore. The truth is, you won't find girls that are easily fooled these days. With the advancement of technology and women's rights in general, girls demand your attention more now than ever. If you really think ignoring a girl's text and then posting stuff on social media is the way to go, you are horribly wrong. This doesn't attract a girl. It sends the message to her that she is not even worth your time to acknowledge her existence. That's a pretty rude message to send anyone, don't you think? When you do this, it basically pushes her away because no girl will want to deal with that type of disrespect. At least they shouldn't if they have an ounce of respect for themselves. They'll just say goodbye and be on with their lives. And you'll be left in their dust wondering what just happened. When does the psychology of ignoring a woman work? Right off the bat, let's get one thing clear. The psychology of ignoring a woman works when you don't really ignore her, just limit your communication a bit. Have you ever heard a "how'd you two meet" story start with? It all started when I decided to ignore her completely. Worked like a charm. No, right. If you have decided that you're going to use this tactic to get her more intrigued, let's take a look at a few scenarios when it can work. 1. When you don't really ignore her. As we mentioned above, ignoring doesn't mean you ghost the person. It doesn't mean you cut off all contact with them, and it doesn't mean you start being rude to them. Just make sure you're not at their beck and call, and you might even see the positive effects of ignoring a girl who friend-zoned you. Just be a bit busy with yourself and let them know that they're going to need to try harder to get your attention. Most importantly, don't be a douche about it. 2. When you aren't rude about it. We cannot stress this enough. If you're ignoring a girl to get her attention, you cannot just scene zone her all day, tell her you're not interested, and be all rude about it. Limit the contact, sure, but don't disappear. Don't play mind games, don't act like a hotshot. The psychology of ignoring someone has many negative effects, don't perpetuate them. 3. The psychology of ignoring a woman works when you're both interested. Ignoring a girl who friend-zoned you has fewer chances of working in your favor than limiting contact with someone whom you just went out on a date with. If you're both aware that you're interested in each other, a simple, "Hey, I'm just very caught up at work. I'll speak with you properly in a day or two," might work in your favor to get her intrigued. Being a high-value man. Instead of playing hard to get and ignoring a girl, there are far better things you can do to make her want you. These are the best ways to attract the right type of girls. Be yourself. Yeah, this sounds cliche, but just hear me out. Being yourself is far better than playing any games. Not only is it much easier for you, but you'll attract the right type of girl this way. It doesn't allow you to be true to who you are. You have to pretend to be something you're not. I remember talking to someone once, and they said, "I just really want to text them back. But I feel like I have to wait, and I don't want to. I just want to text them." Have you ever felt that way too? The truth is it's exhausting to try and pretend you're someone you're not. To not be true to who you are just to play the mind game. If you have to play mind games with them, it's not a real relationship. Whenever you play mind games, you are actually being manipulative. And that's never going to lead you to the type of relationship you want. You must be true to who you are. And again, that high-quality woman you're looking for, she just wants to know the real you, and she just wants to fall crazy in love with you. She doesn't want any mind games. When you're too busy trying to act like someone else, you may pick up a girl, but she won't want to be with you when she realizes you're not the type of guy she thought you were. Do yourself a favor and be yourself so you can find the right girl for you. The key is to not feel or act needy or insecure. With the amount of rejection you face out there today, I know that's a tall order. But I guarantee being bitter or insecure and needy is not going to get you a good girlfriend or a good time. It'll only get you more suffering in the dating market. Most guys go about dating the wrong way, so they either get rejected or end up in toxic relationships. The key is to attract quality women who would be good to you and for you. Then you won't have to use tactics like ignoring women, because they'll be women you'll want to keep. However, before you rush into the dating game, you need to make sure you're in the right place to do so. Otherwise, you'll be in for a rough ride. Not the fun kind. Single women want you to be confident and walk over and talk to them. They don't want you to be nervous, shy, and hesitant when you approach and act like you are worried that it might not be okay to be talking to them. They want to see that you believe in yourself and that you have the social intelligence to understand that it's a man's role to approach a woman and make something happen. There is nothing wrong with approaching a woman, so don't be afraid to do it. Walk up to her and make something happen between you. You have a lot of direct control over the way you feel. You can choose to feel nervous if you want, but it isn't going to help you succeed with women. As a man, you've got to do what it takes to build up your confidence with women. You will need it when approaching and talking to a woman for the first time, when you're on a date with her, having sex with her, and deep into a relationship with her. Confidence is one of the things that initially attracts a woman to a guy, and it's also one of the most important traits that maintains a woman's attraction when in a relationship. It's very easy to attract women and turn them on, but it's also very easy to turn them off. For example, a guy who ignores a woman instead of confidently making a move may appear to be 1. Lacking self-confidence. If a guy approaches a woman in a nervous, almost apologetic, sorry for disturbing you manner, he comes across as being insecure, weak, and unsure of himself. Insecurity is a sign of low self-confidence, and if a guy doesn't believe in himself and in his worth, a woman certainly won't either. 2. Lacking self-esteem. Some guys will have such a low sense of self-esteem that when he approaches a woman, he is already expecting her to reject them. If a guy acts like he is not good enough for her, a woman will inevitably pick up on this insecurity, and she will respond in kind. No woman wants to waste her time trying to build up a guy's self-esteem. 3. Mentally and emotionally weak. A guy who cannot make up his own mind and doesn't know how to take action and go after what he wants inevitably comes across as being mentally and emotionally weak. A woman cannot feel a strong attraction for a guy who is weaker than her, because this means that she will have to be the dominant one in the relationship, and that she will have to take the lead. This is a turnoff because a woman wants a man who can make her feel like a real woman, and when she's doing all the hard work, not only doesn't she feel like a real woman, but she also feels like she is not getting the support she needs from him either. 4. Lacking social intelligence. Social intelligence is the ability to interact well with other people, whether one-on-one or in groups. It is the ability to conduct an interesting and engaging conversation, read body language, and respond in a way that makes everyone feel connected to you and happy to be talking with you. Despite being academically intelligent, some guys are lacking in the area of social intelligence and come across as boring, uncomfortable, or even creepy. When a guy lacks social intelligence, he will be unable to engage a woman and make her feel at ease with him and then feel attracted to him. He will appear uncool, and her friends will let her know that he doesn't fit in with them and that she shouldn't date him.